Hi, good afternoon to all those who are live watching this 16th edition of the Real Estate Scoop with Soma. Happy to be here. Today is a very interesting topic. 16th edition of the okay, there's some Soma. Okay, so I had some disturbance from my handphone because I'm also watching live. So good to be back to share with all of you about a very interesting topic, which is how do I see my future, survival mode to career as a PEA. This topic is actually a very interesting topic and an important topic because the future of our profession depends on PEAs because they are the future REAs, and REAs are the ones who run real estate firms, who recruit people, and to every REA you can have 50 negotiators. So it has a great impact on the profession as a whole. So it is an important subject, but we don't talk about it. As usual, we estate agents, as practitioners, we don't talk about it only in the coffee shop. Because when I talk about it, you're afraid, all kinds of things will happen. So you all know that we have no fear about that because it is an important subject that affects our profession. And as such, we need to discuss it. So I've been thinking about it for a long time, but at last I managed to get a speaker to come and share this. Because when I talk to PAs, I told them, anybody interested to come and be in the panel? Nobody wanted to be in the panel. Nobody rose to that point except one lady, but she's young, she's new, she's not been there long enough to really expound on the subject matter. And so it was so difficult. I was a bit disappointed because that was no other than my good friend who's here with me. Nobody stood up to come and talk because I wanted to have two speakers. Why? I know why. Because number one, maybe they don't want to come and share their feelings. Number two, they are afraid that by talking about this, it will affect them when they apply for becoming RA, or they will become very difficult with them. So the question of leadership will come into play later. So let's stop that introduction and move on to the subject matter itself. So before I move on, let me introduce the guest who is with me. He is none other than a good friend of mine. We have known each other for a very long time, and his name is Lock Kai Ming. Some of you would have seen him and spoke to him. But he's very senior. How many years in the real estate?
34.
34 years in real estate, okay? And since 1997. And very interestingly, he studied in UK, which is very familiar. He graduated with a Master of Science degree from the University of Cardiff, Wales. And he practiced as a forwarder when he first started. And he was in the transport field before joining real estate. He was also for a short while in the gambling industry, right?
Yeah, I was attached with Resorts World Genting.
Genting, okay.
I was the transfer manager.
Yeah, so he was, that's the transport field.
Yeah, the transport field.
But you are working for Genting Group, you're dealing with gambling and all that.
Gaming and
gaming.
And recreation.
Gaming is the right word, not gambling. Okay. Before joining real estate and 37 years, and so it's 34 years, it's a long time. He may look very quiet. He may not be famous in the circle, but he is one person who very strongly believes in real estate. And he has got an opinion about a lot of things. And so afterwards, you will hear that he speaks with his heart and he will be very open about the subject matter. And he'll talk about it without fear or favor. Okay. So he has been attached to a few firms, including Refill. We know him because he's very well associated with the Refill group for a long time and has got some relations with that group. And he was also been with Property Hub, still with Property Hub.
Yes, they're probably.
Of course, his good friends, Christopher and Ben, and they are very close friends up to today. And so, and all his work now is through Property Hub. So nearly 34 years and strong views about real estate. A very important personality. If I may just describe his character, he's a very principled and disciplined man, and also very ethical. So if you go and tell him to do deals this way and that way, it's unethical, he won't do. So he follows the act and the rules. So that is Mr. Lock Kai Ming. So really happy to have you with us, Lock.
Thank you very much for having me.
So I wanted to add on to say that looking at what's happening in the profession, REAs today, I know there'll be some who's watching. REAs today are all very quiet. Most of them have reached that wonderful age of 70, and they either have gone into semi-retirement or fully retired, and you don't hear about them because other than when you go for meetings and conferences, and they're basically kind of given up, and the numbers are really slowly coming down. PEAs, on the other hand, are working hard and continuing to become REAs, but the numbers are also dwindling. I'll show you the figures afterwards. And of course, the rents. Let's not talk about them because there are 35,000 of them. So my question is, who is concerned about the profession? Concern meaning, how do we see the profession growing? And things that's wrong, how can we correct it? How can we be adaptive to what's happening in the market? What are the things that is not practical? What is practical? Who's actually interested in this? To be honest, I don't see many people. Sorry to say, but associations are busy doing the association work, not the profession work. Board, they are busy with their own things. Practitioners, we're all struggling to make ends meet, and so they are concerned about their lives, their family. So these are the struggles that they're going through, okay? And of course, when you go and talk to examiners, they say the PEA no standard. They cannot answer simple question. Then they fail, and then they have to wait 6 more months, and then so that's another story, okay? So today it's not about complaining. It's about confronting reality, because unspoken struggles don't actually build leaders. Okay. So let me just start a few questions with Lock. Then I'll go to the numbers, because the numbers is very important. So Lock, you have been a PA for a very long time. How many years?
I've been a PEA for 27 years. I completed in 1997. I registered as a PEA in 1997. My PEA number is 0133. Doesn't seem to appear there anymore, but it's 133 in that sense, yeah.
So I always call him. He's the longest. He's the longest PA in the country.
Oh, no.
But no, there are other people older than you. There are also others who are more than that, longer than that, holding the PA position. And it'll be interesting to find out why they don't want to become an REA. So I'll come back to that later. So my next question is, why are you still a PA? Where did you lose your motivation to complete the course and become a real estate agent?
When I started this career as a real estate negotiator or agency work, actually I was very keen because I've seen agency business can scale to a quite phenomenal if you understand about real estate business. And I thought by going into this and getting my license and maybe one day able to become a partner and be part of the group to scale this business will be my dream in that sense. I had that belief after seeing or rather exploring many of the countries, like in Singapore. I've seen that before in America when I attend all these NAR conferences. I can see the potential, in this field of real estate practice. But unfortunately, is that I'm still unable to be fully certified as a REA till now. In that sense.
Why? Where was it? Where did you lose the motivation?
You see, the thing about the format in our country, the business model for real estate agency business is purely on a commission base. And a lot of negotiators or the PEA wanting to become an REA has to go through that format. And they have to think about their livelihood, meaning they have to worry about their transaction because you don't get paid until you close the deal. So a lot of the negotiators or even PA is concentrating on ensuring they close deals. I'm sure you've seen a lot of today negotiators or PA closing big deals because those are the things that motivate them, because it's also important to upkeep their family and their livelihood. So it's different from working in a valuation company where you are on a salary paid. You just have to complete your 2 years, submit your logbook, and then go for the interview. As for a PEA,
you are referring to the valuers, probationary valuers.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, in that sense. So for agencies, right, the model is different. If you don't work, you don't get paid. You don't close the deal, you don't have any income. So you need to work hard on it, and the gestation period of closing good deals sometimes can take a bit of time. So you have to work on it, and after, you continue working on it all the time. So when it comes to the logbook, and arranging for the interviews and things like that, that maybe takes a backseat most of the time, and they don't talk very much about that in that sense. So that's why I'm still holding on and not. I mean, I waited for the 10 years grace period submission actually, in that sense.
I remember that, right?
Yes.
And then when you submitted, after 10 years submitted, there was a change. There was a change in the rule, right? They said you still must do some assignment.
Yeah, I did the practical assignment, which I submitted, but they put me on hold, and I don't know until now what's the reason I'm on hold, and I still do not know really what is the reason I've been on hold also. Considering my number of years of experience of working in this field, or rather coaching, mentoring of negotiators, I've done all this in that sense.
Yeah. So this is the other problem we have. We don't know. We just don't know why it doesn't happen. This is the mystery that happens in our profession, which is sometimes when I think about it, it's very annoying. If there's a reason why it is not done, that must be explained, because we are building a career. Okay, putting that aside, let me just give you an update, because when you lose the motivation, or the PAs lose the motivation to become an REA, slowly but surely, the number of PAs coming to the market, REAs coming to the market reduces. So let's look at this number. We'll move to the slide. So way back in 2025, this is a record that we have got over the years. This is official record. 2025, total registered firms in the country was 1,615. Total registered REAs was in the region of 3,134. Total ranks was 76,345. Active ranks was 30,000. So forget about the 76, because that was a number that was given at that time. Total PAs was 3,852. Okay. Now this one was active and inactive all put together. And this December, we got the latest figure, because sometimes these figures don't come out. Some or other we got the figure. And these are active. Total real estate firms are 921. So earlier it was 1,006 altogether. Now 921. Total REA 2,296. Down by 838 agents. Now, whether you're active or not active, when you got your authority to practice, you're already attached to the firm. Nobody's going to keep it and keep quiet. Either it's running a firm or so. 838 REAs are no more practicing. I will use that as a term. I don't know the details about whether it's got authority and sleeping. Number 3, 2,425 PAs. 2425. That means less by 1,427.
Of PEAs.
This one I will understand. But again, who's an active PA and who's non-active PA? Can you understand? Can you explain this afterwards? I can ask you this. A PA is a PA. Every time you renew your registration, you're a PA.
Correct.
You're active.
Yeah, active. Yeah.
So does it mean that 1,420 are no more renewing the authority to practice? 1,400, huh?
I won't be surprised now that the PA will probably give up on this, because the whole business today is different already. Maybe they would have moved on to another more stable or lucrative business, because after waiting for so long and knowing that even after securing the license, you may not be successful also. That's the question. It's not a guarantee after getting from your PEA to a REA, honestly, because it takes a lot more today to succeed and to scale. Having a one-man show, two-man show won't work. It's going to be very difficult. That's why you have the number of companies sliding down already.
Yes.
Because they're not going to be able to survive anymore.
When we came to rent, 35,316. We are always hovering around 35,000. We were up by around 5,000 rents. I understand that. So my question is, how is the profession going to grow? I remember discussing this some time ago. I'm saying the profession is not growing. A lot of people argued with me. So looking at the numbers going down, we are not growing. I can bend this table and I can say this. Do you agree with me or you differ with this?
I think that it's important that they must continue to replenish REA, because as the numbers get fewer and fewer, then you are not creating enough competition in the market and create this business even bigger. Because I think it's important to look at the role of a PEA. Actually, the PEA, after working, for example, 27 years of working in PEA, and yet I'm still unable to, wanting even to create a company on my own, because I just don't get it, or I don't have the opportunity to secure the interview or able to get that. So I think that would be a waste to the industry, because I'm still contributing to the industry in my own little ways, but not in scaling business, even though I may have the heart to do it.
Let me put this in a more strong way. You are all REN who's registered or passed the exam.
Yeah, correct.
You're still doing the rent job.
Yeah.
Right? So it is sad. It's really sad. Let me do, I prepared an analysis for this. Engineers, this is all data from the web. Engineers, graduate engineers, 200,000 in Malaysia.
Okay.
Practicing with certificate of practice, 8,900. So there are 210,000 engineers overall, but practicing is around 9,000. Doctors are very interesting, because 79,000 doctors.
Okay.
So they calculated, when I calculated, for every 142 people in this country, there's one doctor. When you come to real estate, for every 15,000 people, you got one estate agent. I'll come to the number afterwards. Lawyers, 23,645. For every 1,400, you got one lawyer. For architects, you got 2,004. They are almost as big as estate agents. Surveyors, 456. Property managers are very interesting. 2,290. They are already as big as estate agency. They started at zero only a few years ago. We already got 2,290. Whereas estate agents are almost the same. So again, something is not right. Okay. Estate agents, 2,296. So my question is this: where are we heading? Where do you see as a PEA now, this profession heading?
as for myself, at this point of time, I rather consider myself as a transactional agent, meaning at this stage of my life, I would still continue to transact my deals because my clients are still there and the business is still good, in my view. Okay, if you ask me a question whether I'm going to intend to create a company or start a business, I have to think very, very hard because in today's climate, it's not easy. It's not easy. Not easy for a guy who got his REA and set up a company and then to compete. It's not going to be easy.
I agree with you. I think we all know that, right?
Takes more than that.
Those days, all were small companies,
Correct.
10 people, 20 people, 5 people,
Correct.
small office. The whole dynamics have changed, bigger office. And then
the cost of running the business is enormous.
enormous.
You must have financial stability to do that.
And all the legal requirements, AMLA, this and that. So we understand that. But the point is, whether you become an REA and running a firm, or you become an REA and working with a firm, the thing is the same. Only thing is, you do it in your name.
Correct.
When you work for another firm, you're doing it in the name of the firm. But you're still doing the work of an REA. And without one REA, you lose 50 people.
Yeah.
Correct. So let's put this point, okay? In Singapore, we got 36,000 REAs. There are no rents there, okay? For a population of 6 million or something like that. And in Malaysia, we only got 2,000 REAs. Of course, that's balanced by the number of negotiators because of the system. So if, and then again, for 6 million, you got 36,000. For 35 million, you only got 2,000. So the numbers doesn't add up, right?
Correct.
So if you do not have new REAs, where are you going to recruit people? Where you see the challenge?
You see, at this moment, right, when you say you quoted, there are about 2,600 PEA registered with the board at the moment. I think if they really want to increase the number of, if they increase the number of, or quicken up the interview, all right, and create and make it faster, then obviously, then I think there will be, out of this 2,600 PEA, the chances that there will be more subsequently converted to REA in the coming years. But the unfortunate part of it is that the interviews are held, I think, only monthly. And I believe now they only started to do the interview of those applicants who submitted in 2024. So you imagine you need to wait for at least 1.5 years to get your interview appointment before even you're able to have an opportunity to get to go through the certification.
Sad.
So I think if see, the thing is that they really need to look into this, because in order to speed up the interview session, in order for more PAs at least have the confidence that there is an opportunity for them to turn to REA. Because if they wait too long, they may just taper off. A lot of people who went through the exam hoping that they finish their exam and become part of REA and be able to contribute or attach with some of the agencies. A lot of them. But unfortunately, some of them would have tapered off because of the long waiting list of this particular.
And that's why the numbers are dwindling. So that's why my question today, and a very responsible question, is how do we grow the profession? If these PEAs, based on whatever the issues that we're having, is not tackled, we are not going to see any change. And that means the number of rents that you're going to employ is going to get less and less. That is why if you go all over the country, we have got all the guys without a rent tax working for people. We blame the agents, but at the end of the day, we have to blame the system because it doesn't allow. What is your opinion on this?
Yeah, on this, I think we really need to review again on the role of a PEA or the role of a REA and the role of rent. I think, and also the business model. You see, the thing is that the margin for this business is very, very slim and very.
That's one of the other issues.
Honestly, it's too. You don't need to become an REA to make the big bucks. You think about it. And all you have to do, even with the rent tag, you can make the big bucks because they're paying you the big bucks. The com they're paying is in that, even though in that sense. So there is no, motivation for someone who have, that they ensure that he must get the REA that he can, because the REA, even REN without even a license can what? Or even an REN can even help oppose or control a company. That's where the thing is. So we have to re-look at this whole business again. But I think the role the Institute of Estate Agents really need to do.
Malaysian agents.
My view that they really need to look deeper into it, because it's very important, because actually the MIEA is the only people actually looking after the interests of the estate agency practice, in my view. I mean, you don't depend on the values, because the values have their other business. They got valuation, they got appraisal.
They've got their own problems.
Yeah. So I'm saying, if the estate agency can look at this whole thing again, and I think to look at the policy matters again, how should I say? You can easily certify a PEA because of his experience, which you have done that before, because the early 1,000 licensed REA was certified because they were based on experience. So now if a person
1981.
Okay. Now a person who got 10 years of experience only eligible to go for interview only, and yet to attend the interview, he has to take years for him to get the interview. Serves no purpose for that.
I did a study on this because this is of much interest to me. I did a study on this. You see, the model of a PA was based on the model of a probationary valuer. So they go to university, they graduate, they come back. Then they were very strict about you become a valuer, and they said you must do a probationary valuer before you become. And when PEAs was introduced in 1986, we followed, or the board followed the same system. And so our system is exactly the standard of the valuer standard in that sense. Yeah. So my point here is, in America and in Australia, in any parts of the world, you can go into a 6 months course, or in Singapore, 1 year course, you pass the exam. That means you become a REA.
Right.
But in our case, we go through this process. Maybe that is one of the things also that we need to look at. Now the question is, who's going to look at that? So you very rightly said, the model has to be relooked. Is the model applicable now to the Malaysian estate agency practice?
Yep.
Number one. Number two, sorry.
Yep.
You very rightly said that the PA or the REA no need to become an REA. Yeah. He's making more money. Even the REA is now telling, why should I should not have become a REA.
Okay. Okay. See, I think now it's very important for us to really define whether estate agency business, is it a sales or marketing path, or a professional job? Because I think in the American context, right, it's more a sales and marketing job. Okay, so on sales and marketing, is a lot of time it's based on a lot of experience, by experience. Because if you can close $100 million deals, you cannot say these negotiators is not capable. If it's not capable, how can he convince the directors of a company to purchase the piece of land based on that? So that
company.
Yeah, the REN must have capabilities. If he doesn't have any capabilities, he can't sell or can't market. He can't even convince the owner, who's the CEO of the company, to buy the piece of land.
Fine.
So what I'm saying is that we must look into the consideration of people who has got this vast experience in that. So what I'm saying is that you are deterring the people from being certified just because they have to, like I say, comply to follow this particular 2 years things or whatever it is. So what I'm saying is that we need to redefine now what is the real estate negotiators or real estate agents job, honestly.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. So which part of the PA journey feels the most overwhelming? Is it the TPC? Is it the assignment? Is it the documentation, the exams, lack of guidance? What is the journey which is really overwhelming on the part of a PA?
You see, for PA, they have to log in the diary. I think this, I mean, it's not necessary to log in daily things about what is doing and securing or whatever these things. I think that's just too tedious and too it's unnecessary. You don't even need to do that. I think what you need to certify is confirm that this person is really attached. Show from the transaction of the negotiators or from the PEA, you will know whether this person has actually active in the market or not.
Exactly.
From the transaction alone already, you'll be able to tell already. Okay, so you don't need to to be so detailed to say that you must log in the book and then you must hand in the logbook and then you must clear the first stage of logbook before you can go to the second stage. I mean, who looks at the logbook? I mean, the truth is, do you really look at the logbook? You know what they are doing?
They do. The examiners do. I've done that before.
Again, I'm not sure.
What did you do?
Correct. So that part, I think for the interview part, which is very infrequent those days, I think they had it only maybe because the people who sit on the board for interview are not on full time. They've got their own career, their own jobs and things like that. So they only attend when they've been called upon to. So that again slowed down the whole process again. Really, in that sense. I think.
So are you suggesting that maybe it's time that there are full-time people sitting there and asking questions to see whether he has got the basic knowledge and the necessary acumen in order for him to become an RE?
Obviously, I think it's time, because when you have got 2,000 over people who wanting to become an REA, you got about 30 over people who are practicing on the field. It's important for us to relook at the policy model on this estate agency practice. Currently, I think they don't have really full-time people really looking at viewing and ensuring this particular.
No, they don't have. They don't have. They're all volunteers.
So this is where it's important, because if you care about it, because it's a very important industry, that you have to look at it in a sense.
Okay, so do you feel the TPC process is in developing your to become a competent REA? Do you think that the process is you're just trying not really working towards it, but as long as I pass my exam, just let me get through this lah.
Sometimes the unfortunate part is I've seen people doing the TPCs and everything like that, but doing the TPC and how they act in practice, right, is really totally different. Very unfortunately, some of those people who completed and become an REA, right, in my view, sometimes I'm being very doubtful, on how they manage to get through in that sense. Honestly,
they got through because that is exam question. How do you calculate this? How do you see this? What is the law?
Yeah.
But when it comes to ethics and it comes to all those things, they can't meet that, right?
Yeah. So that's something. I mean, but again, I'm not querying that particular part of it. But what I'm trying to say that there will obviously be some good ones and better ones. Definitely.
Give me an example. Sorry. Give me an example of what you said just now. You are doubtful how you got through. Give me an example.
I've been in this business for almost 34 years. I've recruited, I've trained a lot of people. I've created a lot of producers in my career. I know what it takes to become a good negotiator, a good agent, an ethical agent, and I can spot talents, in that sense. But honestly, like I've met recently. I mean, I mean, I'm in the chat group of the PEA at the moment.
Mm.
Sometimes when I look at it, the question that they pose, and to me, I'm just wondering, how did they manage? Seriously, I do have doubt on that. Seriously, in that sense. But of course, I mean, I don't openly, say anything about that. But again, we have some PA who does REA. So that's the very sad part of the things that sort of demoralized me actually in fact, the reason why I wanted to resubmit my case to get for an interview is that I said, cannot be, man. I cannot be. I must be able to handle that better than that so-called PEA in that sense. Honestly,
You're a better candidate.
that's how I felt. That's how I felt in that sense. So I'm not doing this PEA to go to RE for the, and I don't intend to list because this listing is against my game plan. It's against my
Listing
my license to practice.
or leasing.
Leasing. I don't intend to. I intend to be part and parcel of the team to scale the business. I do not intend to be just putting down there to do it. Because honestly, what's the point?
No wonder we're good friends because I won't lease either.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. But I think you made a very poignant point in that there are a lot of people out there. We're not trying to put anybody down.
Correct.
There are a lot of people out there who has not reached that understanding or having the necessary knowledge to go. So we are not telling, I'm not suggesting, and I'm sure you will agree with me, that we are not trying to bring down the standards of the PE.
No.
The only thing is, I think the way we do it based on the current needs, I think need to be looked into so that we can go through a faster process of registration and we'll have enough number of REAs. So you use the word just now, you lost the motivation, right?
Mm.
So I asked you this earlier and I want to go deeper into this. So what actually killed your ambition to become REA, or is it still alive?
The desire, honestly, to grow this business comes from my actual visits most of the time in America, where I see companies like Anywhere, Campus, who can go to that scale. I mean, anyone who practice real estate will want to desire to lead a team, to lead an organization to that level. I mean, whether it's in Malaysia or in the South, I honestly, I desire that. That's the reason why I'm fully believes in the franchising model, go deep into it, understand how to grow this business. But now the business today is totally different already, very much different. Like today, a digital team like this, it's never easy. I mean, to have, I asked them, you got 20 team members in this digital group. And in order to scale this business to become a leading in this country, right? You need to have this support. Without this support, it's not possible. Yeah. It's not going to be easy. Yeah. So I know alone, I want to be able to achieve it, but I want to be able to say, for example, to be a registered estate agent and to be part of a group, and then create things. That's what I intend to. So now my goal is just to transact, because after so many years, I still have got some clients who still very much desire my services. So I still continue to do this part in that sense, until maybe see for one day that I'm unable to do anymore. But one thing about real estate is that business is that you will never, how should I say? You will always have business. You will always have business as long as you continue to network, see your customer, keep in touch with your client. You will always have a deal. There's always a deal.
Are you still doing deals?
Of course, I'm still doing.
He's very active. I know the deals he closes, and they are big deals. Okay, let's go back to this again. I think you briefly mentioned about it. So today, do you sometimes question whether becoming an REA is worth it compared to staying as a PA or REN? I think earlier you touched it. Can you go a little bit deeper into this?
No, I think considering my age, I'm now in the six series already. I think if you're a young individual exploring into this particular field, I think it's worth ensuring that you go through and then pass the exams and get your REA. I
Okay.
think there is business in real estates. In fact, like I say, buying and selling will always be there. So like I say, like renting, it's an every 2 years recurring income that you continue to have that. So as long as you continue to be in this particular business, I think you will always succeed. But obviously the competition is obviously there. Competition is there because, like I say, there's already about 30,000 negotiators, 35,000 negotiators in the market. But having said that, like any business, there will always be competition. So I think it's only what. So as for in our country, I think we still have a lot of opportunities, available.
So when you're a REN and when you're REA, the clientele, your knowledge, your skill, your exposure, you deal with different levels of work, right? An REN will do so much, and REA can do so much more. And so, but the issue we have today is that the numbers are not growing, and that is again just to reflect back to what we have shared. The number of PAs are not coming to the market. So that's where the issue is. Let's move on to the next question again. Many PAs say they want recognition and they want respect. That's one of the reasons why they want to become an REA. So why are professionalism and standards of the practice still optional in their daily habits? Why can't they live up to that requirement that as a REA, I'm a PA, I need to be at that level? What is
Because they've seen so many negative examples in the market. There's what I mean for some guys, I mean, again, what I'm saying is that if they see their peers running an organization, running a business, they were sort of how would I say, not keen to grow the business. Why? Because many of those, how would I say, you see, the younger PAs coming in and the younger RENs coming into the business, a lot of them are very qualified people. I tell you, very qualified, meaning they are actually very capable. They're only unable to transact because they don't have the license in it. But by virtue of their network and their background and their qualification, they are actually capable people. And we need people like that to move into this industry. We need people to fill the gaps of those who are unable to scale the business or rather doesn't want to grow, because a lot of license holder, right, don't want to grow the business because they rather just stay put and just enjoy the bit of the sharing of the what, and they're quite happy with it. What I'm saying is that for the younger REN or PE today, there are actually groups of people who are quite talented people who wants to explore and even grow to bigger this business.
I totally agree with you. We have got pilots who have retired and joined real estate. Then I saw that video the other day they were making some 7, 8, 9,000 as a pilot. Now they become real estate, they're making 30, 40,000.
Yeah.
And I think some agencies have got thousands of agents already $1 million achievers.
Correct.
And so I totally agree with you that the quality of rents those days and now is different. Those days, everybody who became a rent was somebody who failed in life, didn't do
Correct.
very well. They came here to make money. Whereas today, people are looking at this because they know that real estate is something that they can do a lot more than what they can do in the normal jobs. So it is changing, and I want to connect it back to what you said earlier. We need to relook at the model because this model is a 1981 model with a very few changes
Yep.
that have taken place.
Yeah.
You want to add?
Definitely, I think those people who are in this real estate fraternity really needs to look at it. I think we just cannot continue doing this real estate business as just a two-man show, three-man show, just doing the normal transaction and things like that. I think they have to really if you're just purely doing it today, AI is able to take your role already. Actually, this role is sooner or later future.
It's already happening.
AI will take over. Okay, what I'm saying is, how you can play a role in this real estate fraternity is that try to scale it out like Sunway Medical Center. Like Sunway you have doctors, a role of practitioner inside there, but run by professional, by managers down there managing it. So just like us, we could be one of those doctors. We are actually individual doctors inside that particular hospital, specialized in this area, in this field, and things like that. And they will call upon us to help them to solve the problem. Okay. So this is how the business should scale, not just a small clinic. Because if you want to have a more complete service, one stop, you have to be like a hospital.
Who's going to listen to us? I mean, it sounds so logical, but who's going to listen to us? I hope this interview will motivate our stakeholders to really think about this and see what needs to be done. Because all I can see is there are meetings after meetings. There are efforts to improve, but seriously, it's not helping the profession. So I like that. I like that model you just said. You got 1,000 real estate agents working for a firm run by professional. They got the money, they got the technology, they got all the support they can do. And I think there are now
correct,
in the market.
Correct. Now in the
a few of them.
Right. Because these people are the visionary, or rather, who understand about the business, how to scale this business. And don't look at this real estate as only real estate alone. Not just purely real estate. It's bigger than real estate. Okay, and real estate.
There are Harvard graduates, playing a role in an agency to develop the profession. So I sometimes wonder how others can be a little bit more qualified in this. Only thing that you have gone and studied and you got that examination and your REA ticket or a PEA ticket with you. So discussing this, what advice you want to give to the PAs? I think a lot of them are listening out there, that they need also to buck up, not expecting easier qualifications, maybe faster, but not easier, so that they can live up to that level of professionalism. What advice you want to give them? Because that is also lacking.
I think firstly, the PEA really needs to clear the hurdle first. Firstly, the most important, right? Work together to ensure that they will qualify as soon as possible while they stay young. Try as fast as possible. In the meantime, maybe the institute can actually assist the board to try to maybe speed up the process in order that we have more of those speed up process in order for those people who have the opportunity to go for the interview and then clear this math. Secondly, I think we really need to look at the entire business differently already. And differently means I'm saying that we can't, any 2-3 man show in a real estate agency, right, can't scale this business because they don't have enough financial stability and structure to grow it. You really need equity from outside to come in to scale this business. It's not easy, but having equity to come into a structure, again, we have issue again on licensing, on that. So I think we really need to look at this, because if not, we'll unfortunately say that we'll probably die of natural cause. Why? Because everybody says that, why do I need to do it this way? Because I can actually transact in a different manner. Seriously. So I think review this whole idea about, I mean, especially even our neighbors are now used to be behind us, but now they are really in front of us. Honestly, to me, in my view, in front of you.
Singapore is a good model.
Yeah.
I somehow think why we are not thinking like Singapore. Singapore has got 38,000 REAs who pass the exam. And from there, they have to work certain number of years and do certain number of sales before they can become a owner of a business.
Correct.
So 38,000, 36,000 people are working there, and then there's no rents. Why can't we follow that model?
Yeah. You see, US same thing. We have the broker, we have got the
Operator.
Broker. Broker means those who have got license, and then they want to open a brokerage. Those who are transacting agents, those are all agents, all registered agents practicing. You see that? So the brokers and agents are different. Brokers wants to set up an organization, set up a company. But a registered agent, no, he doesn't want to set up a company. He attach himself together with a broker to transact deals. It's the same, similar analogy like lawyer. You have got solicitors and you have got barristers. Barristers actually goes to court. Solicitors do the same work as smart as the what?
This is the office.
He sits in the office. Okay? Same thing in real estate. A lot of the agents, REN and PEA, transact all the deals for the boss of the REA. The REA doesn't need to go out to do the transaction, because all transaction, if we think about it, is all filtered down to the what. So I think what we need to do is to look at it. There is a role for PEA to play a bit on that level, or maybe change the structure, no more called PEA, change the call, maybe register as a net broker. That means the person who can hold the license to practice too.
No, not the word broker.
Malaysia.
Okay. So okay, if that is what you are saying, if the systems allows it, so what? Okay, now it's specific. What changes would you propose to the PEA training and examination process without lowering the standards? What would be the specific things you would like to recommend?
No, I think ensuring them to be attached with an agency, going through the whole works, I think is a good thing. To ensuring that at least they go through the whole ropes of the business. I think that's important. But I think what is slowing them down is actually the interviews appointments, because you don't have it that frequent enough for these people to submit. And I say already, submission, for example, like work diaries and record experience. When you submit, it takes how long for you to get back a book? Whether your book is okay or not. Work diary 1 is okay or not. How long does it take? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months?
Then you got assignments. And then 2 assignments.
Yeah.
So I mean, many of those who are watching what PAs, you know this, right? It now takes, according to my own calculation over the years, an average of 7 years before you can become an REA.
Yep.
I mean, sorry to say, it's ridiculous. A doctor by 7 years is already practicing in the hospital.
Friend, you go and study a master's, right? You don't have to wait for your master's degree. You submit your thesis to the examiner. He goes through your work. It goes through we finish your exam first. After your exam, you will submit your thesis. Your thesis is based on your work you submit. And how long does it take? It doesn't take very long. You submit, and the examiner will look at it on your thesis, whether it's actually your own work and things like that. And they approve you. And next day, you will get accorded as a master degree holder.
It's exactly what happens in Australia. You go and sit, if you are,
Yeah.
you go and sit for the exam, I think 3-4 months you
Correct,
pass,
pass.
you become REA.
Yeah, correct.
So, our role as REA in this country, sorry to say, but I must say this, out of frustration, we have to become doctors. And end of the day, it's only a diploma.
Yeah.
Something is wrong somewhere. I'm sorry, but as you said, we are too concerned about this profession where it's heading now. Okay, we've got 5 more minutes to end this. So this was a question I prepared. What kind of structured support would most motivate you or all the other PAs to complete the journey? Is it a clearer roadmap, better mentoring, financial runaway, or modular learning? What do you think will motivate you to?
Motivate me to complete this, my PEA to REA.
Let's say you now, you are one of the longest PA, right? So now let's say, what would motivate you now to become a REA with all the demotivation you already had? What is that 1-2 things to complete it?
To complete it,
To become REA lah.
give me an opportunity. Give me a chance to attend my speed up my interview, speed up my my interview appointments, and give me a chance to have a session, and then maybe you can interview me or what, in that sense. No, but I think again it's like that. I think that again the slowdown of the interview, I think because sometimes it's the manpower, because a lot of the examiners are actually again part-timers. They are not full-time. They have got their own career to do. Is it correct or not? So we see, and I think maybe what the board can do honestly is I think they're doing it. I think they're reviewing. I think they're trying to speed up as fast as possible because they know how, like again, how many PEs are there and how many submissions are there every time wanting to go for interview. I think a lot of them are wanting to be able to sit that through and then to be able to qualify for REA. At this stage of my career, it will be nice. It will be nice. It will be nice. It was never too late. It would be nice that if I get a chance to at least to attend that particular.
So basically what I'm saying is, in your case, is having all these years of experience, that you be given opportunity for the interview. Of course, you will be assessed whether you know or you don't know.
Yep.
You must be certain requirement before you can become an REA. That's practical training.
Yeah.
A lot of universities give you degree because of so many years you are agent. I think that's one way.
Qualification by experience.
There's one way I think a good number of SA agents can come into the market who's already in their 60s. And that also, and I agree with you, that also motivate the other PAs who are been there 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, who have not become a REA yet, to also be motivated to do this. So I totally don't want to agree with you that, in real estate, when you do a deal, there's no excuse why you cannot do a deal. There's no excuse why you can wake up in the morning. There's no excuse for anything. We have to get it done because that is what is required of us. So if this is important enough for the profession, I think something should be done by the stakeholders. And there's no excuse about it. I mean, what is a big deal like what we discussed, having a group of people who's paid, just sit down there and do interview. So why not? And then you get more people coming into the profession, more people are going to be employed, more transactions are going to happen. After all, how much of transaction that we are doing out of there's so many billions of dollars. So I think
could be more.
It's a cry.
Right.
This is a cry. It's not even a statement. It's a cry. We want to see this profession growing. Okay. Fast forward 10 years from now. What happens to a PA who don't upgrade the leadership? Do they become obsolete, replaced, regulated out, or trapped in survival mode?
I think in today's market, honestly, if we do not move, do not change, do not adapt, I think you'll be phased out very, very fast. I mean, again, you can see through the numbers of the renewable REA yearly. You will see every year it will deplete because it's getting tougher and tougher. In fact, I was just asking, recruiting people today is never easy. Those days, real estate transaction is very easy. I only need my car and I need the Malay mail in order to do my deal.
Okay.
Today, you just not today Malay mail
And a telephone.
Telephone, yeah, telephone.
Office phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
These three things are really enough for me to do a deal already. Today, no. Today is much more, honestly, and the cost is much more in that sense. So again, of course, this is a chicken and egg situation again, because when you had a very high payout model, it's going to be very, very difficult for any organization to be able to work. So this is another area that, how should I say? Nothing that you can talk about, because the business model is totally different.
Who is understanding this? I don't need to come to office.
Huh?
We got our standard one, must have office here, must be approved. Nobody comes to the office. They all sit down in some coffee shop and they're doing their work. So things have changed. But I think we are not moving fast with the changes. So to end this all, this is a question I want to pose to whoever is listening. Okay, I think to ourselves, the PAs who are out there, and most importantly, the estate agents who are actually the guys who are holding this profession to what it is today, whether you're old or young or new. Is this profession growing? I think we need to ask this question. Number two, if not, who is making it grow? There are so many parties there. Who is making it grow? Or who should take the responsibility of making it grow? Or should we just leave it as it is? And I honestly believe that today it is left for it to take its own course. Nobody is making a trajectory as to where we should go. Today the rents come in, the rents they are lost in their own way, but they're surviving because they are doing on the motivation out of what they need to earn the money. So that is a question that I wanted to pose. I hope this goes into the minds of all those who are listening and do something about it.
And also maybe, if possible, you really try, if the PEA will start to engage more.
Yeah.
Try.
More means what?
More means more come out to voice more of your concerns, how to get it through, how can we move forward, play a greater role in it, because it's important. Because that's where they can set the direction of the business.
So that is what I wanted to say at the end of it. But okay, just before we go there, any final words?
No.
There's no final words in real estate.
No final words. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much, Lock, for sharing.
Yeah.
And before I end this, I wanted to say this: the PAs must decide what they want. Okay, do rents work? Do rents work, or move on to becoming REA? That means if you're a rent, you become a PA, move on to become a REA. You cannot be a PA for the rest of your life. And I think it's a very important point. You cannot continue, I'm a PA every year, renew a few $100 and renew. You cannot be a PA for the rest of your life. I mean, I'm also talking that, I'm also saying this to you as a friend.
Yes, obviously.
The question is whether the leadership and self-discipline are aligned to turn survival into stewardship. We are surviving. We're surviving not because of money, surviving as a professional. You're not recognized, you're not here, not there. So can you turn this survival into stewardship from the leadership point of view, and for the stakeholders to re-examine our structure and improve the system? To be a good REA, I wanted to say this in finality, you must be a good leader. If you're not a leader, how are you going to manage the people? If you're not a good leader, how you run the firm? If you're not a good leader, how are you going to think about how you're going to position the organization? In order to be a good REA, you must be a good leader. And that is the training that you need to have as a PA. And that's how you lead and make a difference to the profession. So I hope this can motivate those PAs who are out there trying very hard to become. I think you need to become a little bit more proactive. And to what Lock has said. Lock, once again, thank you very much
You're welcome.
for that interesting chat. I enjoyed myself listening to this conversation because I'm able to vent out, and I think you also were keeping this in your heart for a long time to vent out. I hope and pray that after 34 years being in the real estate profession and having been a leader and having trained people and all that, God will send you a notice to come and say, come, I want to interview you, and maybe some changes in the law. Okay. All right. So with that, we have finished the interview. Now I got one announcement to make. In that next December, this is our last session for the year. The real estate scoop will be revamped in 2026 because I think the 1 hour talk is not motivating for a lot of people to listen. So next year we have a shorter time frame, maybe quite regular, once a fortnight. So there's going to be a title change, format change, and we're not going to do this live anymore. We're going to pre-record and then we'll play that. And so these are the few changes that we're looking at. So in January, we'll announce and you can see what are the changes going to be. Okay, so if you want to go and look at previous recordings, you can go to YouTube. It's all there. You go and just key in a real estate scoop, and you will be able to view all the recordings. A lot of people go and listen to the recordings. You also may be aware that, or may not be aware that, I'm also done a lot of videos on YouTube, on TikTok and Instagram, short clips on real estate issues that is supposed to help agents and rents and also PAs. So go and review that, especially PAs. Go and review that because there are a lot of snippets there that can help you. Okay, so I want to thank all of you for following me all these many months. It's not easy because we need to think. We need to put up the questions. We need to think of who the speaker is. And so it's not been easy, and all that. And of course, I must thank IQI, who not only are interested in sales, but they also want to develop the profession. They want to contribute towards the growth of the profession and remain ethical and create a higher standards of work. Okay, so thank you IQI and the management team for allowing us to do this, because all this is the courtesy of using the time and effort. So with that, I again want to thank all of you. We will announce later as to when the next segment is going to be. So with that, I want to also thank the digital team for being there with us all the time. So with that, wish you all a happy new year 2026. I always say this. New year comes and goes, but if you change, things will change. So happy new year 2026, and I'll see you in the coming year. Thank you very much, and thank you for following us, and thank you, Lord. Wish
Thank you,
you
Soma.
a very happy
Thank
new
you.
year, man. All
Thank
right.
you.